What up, girl?
Hey girl. How are you?
I am excellent. I'm feeling like a terrible dog mom. I forgot Penny's birthday yesterday, so I just needed to get that out because I'm an asshole. Feeling like a terrible dog mom, but cheers, queers.
Cheers. I'm sure she didn't even know. She was like, "It's my birthday."
So resentful.
So
You can tell.
built up resentments. That's my drag name.
Ooh, that's a good drag name. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, girl. Do you notice something different about me?
You're wearing a quilt.
Yeah, I am wearing a quilt.
Tell
Oh my gosh, I got this from the OSU theater department.
me that story. Tell us that story.
Well, they're moving to a new building, and the word on the street is that the Drake Performing Arts Center is soon to be no more.
What?
Yeah. So I
Wow.
heard about it from a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. You know the story. And they were like, "Hey, everything must go. Do you want to come down and look through some cinder block rooms of ancient history?" So it was it was a lot of mothballs, and a lot of Ren Fair costumes, a sort of Elizabethan um, shoulder pads, and there was this quilted robe, and she and I locked eyes for the first and last time, and I knew she was coming home with me.
That's amazing. When was this?
Like last week.
God, you have the most ridiculous stories. What's happening with my hair? Anyways. Oh, girl. Well, that is an amazing tale.
Yeah, they had so many like military jackets and like boxes labeled surgical gowns, like as in like there's some
For
random
theater,
play,
yeah.
yeah, that took place in like a operating theater that one time, and so they just kept this box of costumes forever. It was kind of fun.
You actually brought something up, which is like maybe my theatrical background is where I get my pet rat tendencies. Because I'm like, well, we should save it. We're a community theater. And it's like, no, Brooke, you're a house. You can cool it down. Do you know what I mean?
You're a residence.
Right. Like, and I'm like, no, we need to keep it. What
Mm-hmm.
if I need this brooch? Like, it's falling apart. No. From stage, it would look fine. Like, it's so
Oh
unwell.
my god. Well, girl, you know how I am with brooches, particularly. You'll take that
I know
brooch
I
from
did call
me.
you out on that.
Yeah, you'll take that brooch from me and you pry it from my cold dead hands.
I think you come back to get it.
Yeah, from the grave. Mm-hmm. Haunted
Maybe
brooch.
while I have a nice big sip of January 6th.
Oh, a nice, a nice big sip of insurrection. Anyone?
I'll take mine with two sugars, please. So, girl, what are we talking about tonight? I have feelings about it, so you go first.
We're talking about the reason why I was late to this evening's covered dish, which is
I think you're gonna call yourself
it's. I mean, we all knew when I came on in an actual bathrobe, like
out.
at 7:10, you knew something was up. So, girl, high maintenance. Do we know her? Do it? Could you imagine? I think.
Girl,
I think I. I think it's a term that for me is full of sort of resentments. Like I'm very defensive at just the whisper of that term. I'm like, how very dare? Like, how dare you call me that? But I actually think that I'm coming around to it, and let me tell you why. I'm coming around to it because to me it's like someone who's forthright and forthcoming with their needs. They spell out what their needs are. They're very direct about it. They're a direct communicator about their needs.
well, and I think what's interesting about it is that high maintenance is in the eye of the beholder, even if you are going to take the term at face value. So, to your point, if I'm very clear about my needs and they are unattainable for you to meet,
Mm-hmm.
I am high maintenance by definition in your view.
Right, right. I think
So,
the term only makes sense when you're reflecting on yourself and you notice a large difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And like it is relational. So it's like, oh, she's high maintenance. And it's never he's high maintenance. Just get out the misogyny in that term. It's never he's high maintenance. Which
Drag
like men
them.
are
Drag them for
extremely high
filth.
maintenance.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They are extremely high maintenance in like such similar ways, but we don't talk about it. People who are gender or are socialized male anyways. But
Mm-hmm.
like some of my most high maintenance partners have been male, cis and trans. So come at me in the chat. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but it's all about the perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think for me, when I hear that term, you know, I do think there's like a financial undertone to it too when it's used with women.
Mm.
I hear it a lot, like she's high maintenance, paying for the nails, paying for the
She's
dress, paying for dinner, paying
yeah.
for everything. I think
Yeah.
there's a financial like there's like a financial dusting. You know that
An,
like powdered sugar you do on a fancy, you know what
a
I'm saying?
dusting. Yes, I do. I do.
And you're just like, oh, I taste a little bit of this powdered sugar, but not enough
And from a
for it to be a
sifter.
taste.
From a sifter.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
just remembered I had one of those, lost in a divorce. R.I.P.
Oh, girl. I'm gonna get you a sifter.
I would love
It's,
that. But no, it was a little dessert sifter. It was like a little one with a ball, and you put the powdered sugar in.
oh my god. That would
The
go
things we go through.
that would go really great next to the strawberry holler.
Yeah, I know. You could come up with a lot of things to sprinkle. I feel like your whole household would really lean in.
Yeah. Sprinkle pent up resentments.
Ew.
Bringing it back. But yeah, I think you're right
Yeah.
about the financial component. She's just trying to secure the bag. And it's like, yeah, maybe she is. Like
Oh my god, I have a funny story about that phrase. So obviously that phrase is appropriated from Black culture, and
yes.
we stole it because that's everything. But
Yes.
there was
Especially
like
gay
this,
people. Like all of the white gay people are getting things from black gay people, and then it's picked up by white
right,
straight people, and it's the
exactly.
gentrification of language.
It's the black trans to white straight pipeline of linguistics, right? It's just
Yeah.
like literally a white cis person told me what the T asked me what the T was at work like this week. And I was like, no, I reject this premise.
Oh my god.
But what I was gonna say,
Ooh.
what was I gonna
It
say?
gave me the chills. I don't know. I lost my train of thought because that just like oh gosh.
Oh,
And
the bag.
you know
Okay.
it's bad when we as like, millennial gay, very gay, but white ladies, when we get the chills
White.
when we hear things like that, then you know it's really bad.
Can't have any tea.
You
But
can't have any
oh, I remembered what I was gonna say. Oh, it's gone again. Wait, I'm gonna get it back. Oh yes, the bag. Okay, the bag.
The bag, yes.
The bag.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally saw like something on, you know how you're like scrolling on Twitter and they'll be like, this bag is made for you, or this T-shirt, right? And it's like super designed from an algorithm, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And like it was something about like securing the bag or like get the bag, girl. And I'm waiting to see the like be the bag you wish to see in the world. Like when they combine like white phrases on like mugs at TJ Maxx
Yeah.
with like black trans colloquialisms. I can't wait. So be the bag you wish to see in the world, girl. I'm gonna buy that.
That is awful.
Buy that at Home Goods.
You just painted a quite a picture, Brooke. I'm seeing like motivational posters that are like, girl, go out there and beat that mug. Like, ugh, that's just awful. It's just awful.
Yes. Like a nacho tray from Nordstrom Rack that says like snatch, you're out of chips. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's already like we don't have to imagine like that this is already the case because it is.
I think my favorite type of like home good at one of those discount stores is when it just like says the thing that goes in there. So it's like a chip bowl and it's like chips.
I want a plate that just says ham,
Yes.
but there's never ham in it, but it says ham.
It's a candy dish.
Yeah, it's a candy dish. And you eat all the mints and it just says ham. I love that.
Love it. Yeah, no, I struggle with that term, but I will say so for the term high maintenance, have you had it used on you and have you used it for other people?
I have not had it used on me, but that's because like when you rub away the veneer of gloss and glamour, like I have there's something about me that whenever I feel like I'm it's this Midwestern thriftiness that's like, don't make too much of a fuss, don't be in the way. Like the fact that I doing burlesque is kind of like an anomaly because I grew up with like sweatpants and Cheetos and Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? So there's really not a whole um but this is the weird thing. There is a fastidiousness to me, but I don't think there's a lot of pretension. So I don't know. Like it was never used on me, but I think that's probably because I don't know. I'm trying to explain something that's not a thing. I'm turning into like
Well,
I'm
you know
not
what it
like the
is?
other girls. Like
No,
ugh.
you are. You are. But like you're wearing a quilt. Like you're not like the other girls. But I think to your point, like it's the people pleaser Midwesterner in you that like even so let's say we go to a bar and it's a high end bar. And it's like Barcelona or something bougie in Columbus that they think they're people, right? They think they're people, or like what I mean. One of those like name one of the bougie at Lindy's or like one of
Lindy's,
those
yeah.
places,
Mm-hmm.
right? And okay, for my Miami viewers, Mignonette. For my Fort Lauderdale viewers, Sparrow, and for my Palm Beach viewers, Pistache. Woo! All right, got it all in. So those are the only 4 cities you get. You're in a bougie place, and it's like, oh, I'll have a Manhattan, and they don't have.
Thank you.
Sweet vermouth? Is sweet vermouth what's in a Manhattan?
Yes.
Right. So they wouldn't have sweet vermouth. I don't remember, girl. So
You're on thin ice. You're on thin ice, Missy. No, I'm kidding. And you ask for a Manhattan, and then you ask them what kind of vermouth they have, and they say all we have is martini and Rossi.
Exactly. You don't go, I'm leaving. You go, yes, I'll have another drink. No, you would not. No, you wouldn't. Because, right, like, as much as you like what you like and you do what you do, you wouldn't be like, oh, well, no, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. We can sit. You'd be like, oh my God, it's a martini night. Sounds great. Like, you know what I mean? I think there's
absolutely.
level of
absolutely agree.
Flexibility. And I use that example because it's simple and it's not about like emotional high maintenance, because we're going to get into that in a minute. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that's probably the difference. The flexibility and humility you bring to the panache of the burlesque, lifestyle.
Well, thank you. That's very kind, but and I think you're right. There, for me, it's like the most important thing is that we're having a good time. And you know how like etiquette, the purpose of etiquette is to make other people feel good. That's the thing, right?
You taught me that.
Really?
Yeah, I was taught etiquette to make me get a husband, and it failed.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about etiquette before in the show, and I think it does have this association that it's a rigid set of standards by which everyone proves their like social credibility to each other.
Right.
And it's like I don't think that. I think that etiquette, when it's done right, is actually a way that people can make each other's feel good in social settings. So like, yeah, if they don't have the right kind of vermouth, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'm going to leave you all in the dust and go somewhere, like, because if I went somewhere else, I'd be miserable and alone. Right. So I'm gonna stay and have the drink, and I'm not gonna make a big deal of it because I'm like, I'm grateful just to be out and having a drink with people I care about. That's the important thing.
Girl told me about it. I was talking with someone and they were like really upset. So there was a big flooding down here in South Florida, and I met this woman at an event, and she's like, "Oh my God, I was supposed to be in New York tonight, at a concert, and with the flooding, my flight got canceled." And she's like, "To be honest, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I just met you." And I was like, "Who am I, Eileen Galvin?" But she's like, "I cried in my bed all day."
Oh.
She's like, I don't know what happened. I was excited to see my friend. We were both flying in. She got in. I didn't. And I was just like, no, we all have PTSD from the pandemic. And she just looked at me. And I was like, when things get canceled now, I like very quickly spiral. And I'm like, oh, that's because of the pandemic and like everything we lost. So to your point, the flip side of that is this incredible gratitude that may be closer to the surface now of like, I'm just happy to be out.
Yeah, I think the bar has been lowered for me, and there's a helpful aspect to it where I'm able to appreciate some things a little bit more. But then on the flip side, there's that PTSD of like, well, now I don't trust anything, and I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, when is this all going to come crashing down? Like, I do have some of that now.
Right, right, 100%. And it's like something to process through. So have you ever been with a guy who's emotionally high maintenance?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. In fact, in college, I was dating this guy, and I put myself out there. I was like, I thought he was so attractive, and I never thought he would say yes to going on a date with me. And then he did, and I was like, oh my gosh, he said yes.
And what do I do now?
And I thought I had met Prince Charming, like, because my naive little 19-year-old ass was like, oh my gosh, this is the man of my dreams, and he looks perfect, so everything's just gonna work out, you know? And it did not.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, it did not. He told me the posters on my wall were trashy. He said to me, because I had a little irritation around my lips, that he didn't want to not just make out with me, he didn't want to kiss me until he saw like my results, my test results.
Your STI panel?
Yes, he wanted to see my panel, my whole panel, girl. And I said, well, I'll
The
see if,
whole panel.
yeah, and I said, well, I'll see if I can get them in here this time of night. But that stupid joke. And then what else? Oh, he had this whole inferiority complex about how everyone in his family took IQ tests when he was young, and he was the one that scored the lowest, and so he's always like trying to like some effed up stuff, you know. And I was like, I'm gonna need you to work that out, but I can't support you through that while we're in a relationship together. So like, I don't know, not to toot my own horn, but at some point I was like, I had just enough self-respect in that moment that I was like, we're not gonna drag ourselves through this mud for the next 6 months. We're just gonna no. We're just gonna call it here and say this is not.
Well,
This
you
is
know,
not
young
worth the-
young Brooke would have just stuck around for 6 months, so you're doing better than she would.
I was tempted at some point, but it was just like, why you know when you feel bad enough being around that individual to where you're like, there really is no, I'm not getting anything out of this emotionally.
Right.
So it was pretty easy to say no, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair.
That's
That's
rough.
fair.
Oh,
Girl, I love that. I love, it's so funny because it's like you look back, and I was actually just telling you unnamed, we will be naming names, on a phone call earlier this week or last week. I don't know, time is meaningless. And I was like, you think back about these relationships and these interactions, even like trying to date, and you're like, I'm putting in so much effort, I'm getting nothing back. And even that is emotionally high maintenance, right? That person is costing so much. And then you have to ask yourself, are they costing anything? Or am I just putting this in because it's what I want?
yeah. All right, how much are you costing yourself? Because how much are you costing yourself, girl? Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, put that on a chip bowl, TJ Maxx.
A sectioned relish dish.
For gherkins. Those little pickled.
I
For the little...
Girl, not to come out as gay again on this program, but do you know about replacements.com?
No.
Okay, so this is a site that octogenarians go on to find another footed candy dish that is their replacement from the China pattern that they got from 1960.
This is not real. I'm going to it, but on my personal phone because I don't trust you.
On my personal phone.
What
What are you worried is going to come up on replacements.com? NSFW.
I don't know. Buying a new wife. Like, that sounds like a thing.
Yes.
Replacement.
Replacementwives.com.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're not joking.
I'm not. So if you ever wanted to find that new tureen lid because you broke one in the dishwasher, you can go to replacements.com, search for the name of the manufacturer, the name of the pattern if you know it, and you can find that sectioned relish dish or that footed candy bowl, or perhaps a coffee pot and a teapot. Like, girl, it's so much fun.
It is insane. This is insane.
Yeah. And then at one point, I don't have it anymore. I went paperless with replacements.com, but I used to get a monthly like in the mail paper catalog for one particular pattern that I had registered for, and they would let me know like the salad plates are back in stock.
Girl, this is insane. This is the gayest thing you've ever told me.
I know, in this robe too.
Yeah.
I get up, rollers in my hair, and I open up the replacements.com and I sip from my teacup and I just go, oh.
You know, I really hope that you outlive me. I'm planning on it. But on the off chance,
What
on
an
the
odd
off
thing to
chance,
say.
oh yeah, no, I already have a plan for that. But on the off chance, and don't do it, I outlive you, I will get a paper catalog of replacements and I will put it in your coffin so you have something to sift through in the
So I
afterlife.
have something to read in the afterlife. That's right.
Yes, yes. Not even
Oh,
buy, just sift. Just sift. Just look.
just window shop. Just imagine.
Just
Like,
window shopping your road. You know what I mean? Like, oh.
I like to register for the set I had with my, my second husband before we divorced. And sometimes I like to just remember, like, oh, this was the best part of my relationship with Jerry.
I am devastated that this will be in my website history, personally, but we'll just all move through it.
Girl, stick with me. I got some other good chestnuts in there. But
Oh my God, girl.
talk about high maintenance. Like, people think that high maintenance is like, about I don't know. Like, I'm not going to take you shopping and make you carry my bags, but I am going to make you listen to me talk incessantly about the Royal Doulton Kingswood set from 1970 and how it's dishwasher safe if you use the right kind of enzyme dishwasher detergent. I will make you listen to that.
I have heard that. That rumor is going around.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's the thing. What's so interesting is if it's anything but kind of financial, we have to add a adverb.
An
right?
Advil? Did you say you have to add an Advil?
No, an adverb.
Oh, an adverb.
And an Advil.
I have to
Like
have at least a Percocet.
I need to use that before the day even begins. So, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the high maintenance is like, yeah, carry my bags and do this shit and pay for everything. And then emotionally high maintenance, mentally, right? We always add these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think for me, I've always, like, I consider myself very high maintenance and I consider it a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, and.
Well, we had this conversation on the phone, so I mean, I think when we were doing the promo for this episode, and I think it's a good idea now to bring it into the room, which is like, are we high maintenance or are you low quality? Like, maybe step it up so we don't have to be so tired. Like, do you know how tiring it is to carry the entire relationship?
Like, I think it's, for me, I'm like, I think if I find someone, and I have, right, where it's like, oh, well, but like, this is really high maintenance. It's like, yeah, you know what? One of the things that I need in a relationship, which is a pretty high bar, and I discovered this pretty early on, and this, is like, I need a date for events. There is nothing about my life that doesn't involve having a date for events and a lot of events. And it's all different types of events and everything else. But like, I used to use a litmus test in my 20s. And I was like, all right.
Where are you on the calendar? Where are you on the calendar, sir?
Exactly. Like, I would say, if I could bring you to a wedding and make it through the night, you're a contender. And everyone's like, oh, that's not. Like, you have no idea. I brought a guy to an event once. Oh my God, I thought he was great. I love short guys. And the homie had a meltdown and like left in the middle of the event. Not because of anything I did, like he couldn't hang with the social structures around him. And it was a straight event. Like I was the one who was a fish out of water. So it's just one of those things where it's like, you know what I mean? Can you go to the wedding? Can you behave? Can you not get blackout wasted? And can you not try to score drugs from the underage maid of honor? All three things happened with one date. But I will say, like, that for me is actually a price of admission for me that is incredibly high maintenance. And that is a non-negotiable, right? So what is the trade-off? And I'm willing to make compromises in other parts of the relationship and other parts of but you know what I mean? Like, that is a high maintenance thing. And that's kind of like, sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of like a game of limbo, right? Like how low can you go is relative. And I don't know, that's a weird metaphor, but you get what I mean, right? Like for some people, if you're compatible, then the things that you're looking for from that social interaction, the can you hang, this is my price of admission, that's going to feel easier for some people than it is for others. And
Oh my God, yes.
I don't even, we don't even need to put a value judgment on it. It's just like, is this going to work out? Like, are you able of operating on this frequency? Because we need to resonate in a way.
Person I dated in law school and had a million events to go to refused to wear anything but jeans.
Brooke, I don't think I don't see that working out.
No, it surely did not. Dungarees. But instant karma. They looked great in jeans. That wasn't the problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, that's not a great example because I have like dated 15 people named James who all sell tractors. So so it's interesting. It's interesting how
tractor salesman.
Yeah, I think part of the other setting aside the misogyny of high maintenance, which I'm not sure if you can, but I'm going to attempt to for a moment. The other thing about high maintenance is how flexible are you, right? Like this, in the same way that etiquette is sort of about a little bit of flexibility and being able to have a good time despite maybe some different challenges. One might call them crises if they're out of cocktail cherries. Like, yes, I will, I'll suffer for the evening. But yeah, it's like, are you able to bend, like roll with the punches a little bit? And then is the other person also going to roll with the punches with you? Because if it's just a one-sided thing, then it doesn't feel fair.
Right. No, I think that's actually really fair. Like I bring a high expectation of emotional intelligence. So if you're emotionally high maintenance, Yahtzee. Like I'm ready to show up for that, and I love showing up for that work. It's also like not work when you love what you do. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Like you have to find that compatibility, and I think in your 20s it's different. I don't know if we have any viewers who are in their 20s, but if you're here, good for you. You're learning so much from us. I'm very proud of you.
Also, the things that I want to say to you are all like, enjoy that skin texture. Enjoy that ability to eat late night food at 2 a.m.
Oh,
don't,
girl, okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me. If you could go back gastrointestinally and have one terrible dietary life decision not bite you in the ass, what would it be?
The sauce from Cane's Chicken.
What is in that sauce?
It's, you know what, I think it's like, it's everything from lots of black pepper to Worcestershire sauce to mayonnaise to ketchup. I think it's like all the condiments mixed into one.
If you know the Cane's recipe, get in the chat. Get in the chat.
Yeah.
If you don't and want to make it up, get in the chat.
My stomach hates it. It
absolutely
hates it.
When I moved to Columbus the year before law school, I lived with my really best friend in the world, Anne. Shouts to Anne, she's the best. And she introduced me to Cane's Chicken. I'd never had it. But Anne at the time was a vegetarian. And so Anne would go through and get a 3-piece meal. She would sub the coleslaw for Texas toast. So she'd get 2 Texas toasts, an order of fries, and double sauce. And then she'd give me her 3 fingers from her 3-finger combo. So then I'd order a 3-finger combo and give her my toast. And I would have 6 chicken fingers, French fries, and sauce. Huh? And I'd be fucking fine. I'd be fine.
Wow.
I'd be fine.
Wow. Now, if I even look the wrong way at a piece of pizza, like, it...
Girl, that's how I knew you were having a Sunday. You would get, what is that shit pizza place you love, where the pizza crust is made out of crackers?
Are you talking about Tommy's?
I'm talking about Tommy's!
I love Tommy's Pizza, and I don't want to hear anything about it. I love it so much. It's so good.
You would get it so thin, like it's like no calories, I'm sure. But you would like
no, it's a ton of calories. And if I have Tommy's Pizza now, it hurts. It really hurts. But it's worth it.
You would get a piece. You would get a pie, and it would be like end of a long weekend. We'd have double shows or something. And Sundays, you disappear for 6 to 8 hours playing video games or going on a walk with your partner, like to Cleveland and back,
right.
Whatever it was.
To Denison University. Just
right.
like
on a 40-mile walk.
Yeah, to Granville.
And then you'd get a Tom, and that's how I knew you were seriously exhausted. Because I'd see the Tommy's Pizza box tucked behind the garbage can, not hidden, just like slid in there to to throw out.
Yeah.
And girl, there were never any leftovers. There were no survivors from those.
Nary a crumb. I love Tommy's Pizza. But yeah, I mean, food as a sort of like, I've had to change my relationship with food. Oh, how interesting. I think, you know, like, I'd used to eat food when I feel bad, I'd eat food when I feel good, and then, like, neither of those things really, like, made me feel better. Instant gratification.
Right.
But anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about high maintenance.
Girl,
When do needs become a problem?
You are delightfully low maintenance. Well, we are technically at time, so we can wrap up, dear readers. You have all been delightful. Thank you for joining us. Next week on The Dish, it sounds like we're going to talk about food. We'll see how that goes.
Maybe we'll cook. I doubt it, but we might.
You're like, I made this stapler.
Nice. Love that. Very appetizing.
Isn't it? Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. If you have anything you want us to cover, get in our DM. Slide right in there, baby. We'd love to see it. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and every Tuesday. This has been The Dish.
And remember, you're not high maintenance. The rest of the world is low quality. So you shine on, baby. Bye.
Shine on, baby.